Right then. Let's see here. Where was I up to? Where was I up to? Where was I up to? I was up to. I was up to. No way I'm streaming. No, I'm actually streaming. It's Saturday. I don't have to work. How you doing, Uga? Let's see, where did we get to? I think we got to the point where movement keys worked but didn't actually do anything in the game. That's my memory. Yes, we got movement action going on here. And yeah, we can use the northeast direction. Okay, cool. One of the things I was thinking was that we should stop this mobile camera nonsense and just go with a... Doing good? Awesome. We should just go with a fixed camera at a fixed distance. Because that's the way you would expect the game to behave, right? You wouldn't expect to have to zoom in. That doesn't make any sense. Okay. So maybe I should do that. But how do you get it so that it's the same no matter what on the screen? Let's have a look at camera. Oh, Game Jam for Big Boy Games started today. You got to draw some art for the jam. Interesting. I didn't know he was running a jam. That's pretty cool. What's the theme? Okay, so camera zoom rate 1. But I think what we actually want to do is set up zoom right out of the gate. So, who can make the best idle game? Very cool. I don't know if I'd know where to start to make an idle game. I quite like those incremental games like Universal Paperclips was awesome. I loved that. It's kind of an idle game, I guess. Oh, your partner's coding and you're doing art. Nice. Very cool. Okay, so then we would be able to remove the movement commands, but how do we set the initial zoom? What else do we have in here? Camera render graph, projection, visible entities, and frustum. Don't know that that helps me a lot. I think I need to look up in the Bevy cheat book. Bevy camera zoom settings. How to zoom into a sprite. Zoom with orthographic. No. Render my game at a lower resolution to create a pixelated effect. Scale the projection to zoom like this. Orthographic projection. Scale is f32. Maybe I need to look up what orthographic projection is. I need to set the initial camera position so that it's very similar to the sprite's position. And like the top of that pyramid, and then just like at a good zoom level, and then just not change it. So zoom delta, camera projection scale, right. Okay. So I wonder if we should set projection orthographic projection scale and then default What the hell? Did Vim just crash? What the hell? That never happens. What? Wow. That was interesting. Weird. Must have been a plugin. Okay, expecting comma, mismatched types. Yeah, so this is going to be like, I don't know, let's go 2 just to see what happens. Yeah. And then we'll set a transform as well. Oh, we got ads. Whoever wins gets money for stream. Since it's me and another, we would have to split, so I'll get $25. Nice. Nothing to sneeze at. Huh. Okay. Obviously, we're in the wrong place. In fact, it can't even be seen. Okay. Cool. Good to know. How do I decide on an initial scale? What about some very high number? How does this work? How does this work? I wonder what... Just check on this. Yeah, definitely nothing going on there. And if I scale out, still nothing. Okay, so something about me doing that has not been kind to it. I wonder what the initial transform is for the first of those tiles in the tile map, because that would be one thing to look at. Let's look at player. Actually, no, let's look at map. Transform. Oh, 0, 0, 0. Okay, well, that's a good place to start. That is a good place to start. Okay, let's try changing the scale back to 1. And we'll just run that again. Still nothing. I feel like setting... I need to understand more about orthographic projection. Unless... Bevy camera orthographic projection. Orthographic and perspective. Okay, this is Bevy Cheatbook. This is going to be helpful, hopefully. Do not use the transform scale to zoom the camera. Use the projection to zoom. For an orthographic projection, change the scale. Configurable. Everything always appears the same size regardless of how far away it is from the camera. Okay. 2D cameras are always orthographic. Okay. Render target. Viewport. Okay. Camera ordering. Multiple cameras. Really all I want is, what's the default scale, for example? What happens if we just do this? We still don't see anything. And I assume if we take it out, that we see something again. Aha. And it does seem to be well positioned. Interesting. So something about what we're doing is preventing us from seeing that on the screen. Maybe some camera setting I'm changing at some point in the init phase, or HDR true default. As soon as I add a projection, it doesn't like it. Why? What happens if I change... hang on. Let's look at the zoom code again. Hey, Fuzzy, how are you? Zoom delta is action state value, camera movement zoom. Camera projection scale times equals 1 minus zoom delta times camera zoom rate. Minus zoom delta. So what actually is scale? Like, how does it... As scale increases, the apparent size of objects decreases. Oh. Defaults to 1. Okay, so what happens if I set it to like 0? Just for the hell of it. Or like 0.5. No, it's still invisible. Damn it. What am I doing wrong? Where'd he go? Where'd my character? Where'd he go? Okay, so adding orthographic projection with just about any settings makes it disappear. What are the other values I could be setting? Near, far, viewport origin, scaling mode, and scale. The distance of the near clipping plane. Oh yeah, don't need to worry about that. I don't think. Unless maybe I do. Because presumably this is all being added at its default values anyway. Scaling mode is defaults to window size 1. Rect. Can I do like, can I just manipulate scale without setting the projection at all? Let's just say let mute camera bundle equals and then camera bundle scale equals, I don't know, 0.9 or something. And then we add that so. Oh, right. No. What? Huh? What? Oh. Really? Are you sure? Oh, I see. It's the orthographic projection that has the scale. Okay. I'm assuming this is going to fail, but I'm just curious. It doesn't. I can see. So why? Oh, man. So I can add it and then manipulate it later, but I can't add it and manipulate it in the literal. That's so random. Okay, let's try changing that value and just playing with it a little bit and see what effect we have. I'm sure there's a good reason for this. I just don't know what it would be. Yeah, it's definitely getting bigger. All right, let's try 0. Nope, 0, it disappears altogether. Damn it. All right. I'm so confused. What about 0.1? Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. All right, so maybe 0.3-ish. Also, why does the window get bigger when I move it? What's sway doing to my window? What is going on? Okay, 0.3 is too small, but it's not bad. It's also off-center. I don't know why. Oh, yes, I do, because 0, 0 is here, and it starts drawing here. So it's actually in the middle of the screen. It's just that it draws off to the right. So I'd have to offset it somewhat to make it appear in the center. Okay, cool. We can work with that. Let's try 0.2. Actually, let's try 0.3, but no, 0.25. And we will give it the transform some offsets. So I need to go negative for X. So say minus 100 to start with. And probably positive for Y, I think. And then I'll disable all the movement commands for it. Okay, so negative was incorrect for X. It's got to be positive, but it was kind of correct for Y, except that we want the kiwi to appear at the top of the screen. So I think I need to go back to 0.35-ish. Okay. Trial and error, folks. Trial and error. Negative 100 was probably more like 50. And then 100. And we'll try 3.5. Excuse me. Oh, we're getting close. What about 50 for the offset? And then we'll leave it there for a little bit because it's close enough to work with. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Nice. Looks pretty good. I'm not sure how tall our eventual game board is going to be, but we'll keep it simple for now. Yeah, nice. And then in theory, I could also disable all the commands, but maybe I might want to zoom in on something at some point, so I'll just leave it for now. Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, I will leave the movement for now, just in case I need to do anything with it, but we'll go to do remove camera commands once we're happy with everything. Nice one. Okay, so we'll commit that. Fix camera initial zoom, and I guess. So hang on, wait a minute. Am I really saying that I have to do this way and I can't just do it this way? Let's try it. Hey buddy, how you doing? Good boy, there's a sunbeam for you to sit in. Good dog. Okay, let's try scale 0.35, and we'll comment this out and see if we get the same effect. If not, then I'm really confused. Nope, it disappears. What the hell? What? Is this a different scale that I'm setting? So confused. When I create an inline, it doesn't work. When I create it after it's been created, it's fine. So weird. Yeah, no idea what's going on there. Maybe you have to start at 1 and then scale? So strange. Never mind. We'll do it this way because it works. And we're fine. Find default projection scale to use. I'm not sure if that'll work at all resolutions, but it'll work for us for now. Okay, so how do we get this player moving? Close the camera, close the map, and turn virtual text off. Now then, let's try getting rid of all the debug stuff first and foremost. Yeah, all we're doing is, all right, so let's think about this. We need to know what our surrounding tiles are and whether it's safe to move to them or not. So let's run and have a look at our game board. Right. So I need to know, if I'm standing on this square, that valid moves are southwest and southeast. But I still, in theory, need to be able to move off the edge of it. But if I do, I'll fall. So obviously later in the game you get the little spinning discs that you can jump onto, but in the meantime, if you jump off, you die. So I need a function that tells me, for example, if I'm standing on this one, that my valid moves are northeast, northwest, southwest, and southeast. But if I'm standing on this one, then valid moves are northwest, southwest, and southeast. And then we match the requested move to see if it's within the acceptable moves or not. Cool. Okay, good. So we need to return everything that's within a 1 tile distance. Now I'm 90% sure that Bevy's yes tile map will have something for that for me. Oh, yes, we have one puppy. He needs a little camera tweak. There he is. Yeah, the other one's out pestering people. Oh, digging a hole in the backyard. Right. That's less than ideal, but, you know, not at all surprising in any way. Okay, so we need... you can
see the shame on your paws.
Oh, no. Terrible, terrible shame. Are you cold?
No.
Are
you?
My hands are cold. From typing, probably. Okay. So we need fn is valid move. Mum's dog is too lazy to dig holes. Yeah. Now, see, now I've adjusted the camera too far. I need a better camera angle for this. Puppy number 2 with dirty paws. Very, very dirty paws. Okay. Is valid move, which is obviously going to return a ball. Need something with a fisheye lens. Yeah, probably. Like a GoPro, but what I've got is this old Logitech C920 that is not required for other purposes. So, has she stolen your sunbeam, buddy? You can kick her out, you know. You can kick her out. Yeah, you can. Okay, so we return a ball, and then what are we going to accept? We're going to accept the player position and the target position. Hi, how you doing? Do you need a little bit of a pat? Okay, I understand. You're a good boy. She did steal a good spot. She's always doing that, right? Just such an entitled little dog. And Ted does nothing but seek out the sunbeams. Yeah. You just got to find the sunbeams, don't you, my friend? You're a good boy. Okay, so we need to take the player position. Need consoling because my bed has been invaded by the monster. Player pause is probably going to be tile pause. And desired move direction, I guess. So move. And is there any reason we can't just pass a reference to a type move? I feel like we can. Got a lot of... Yeah, good boy. Oh. He's very, very close to the camera right now. He's trying to soak up as much of the sunshine as possible. Yeah, yeah. Blocking the sunbeam. This is the A strategy. This is the best possible use of his body. Is that a nice sunbeam, buddy? Good boy. Yeah. Okay, so we accept a move and a player pause. At the moment, we'll return true. No, we'll default to returning false. And actually, Teddy, don't boop the camera. He looks like an old boy, I know, and in some sense, he might be. He's like 6. Um, so for a big dog, that's getting up in years. But he acts like an old man, like he just wants to sit around under blankets and in sunbeams. He will play, but it takes a bit to rack him up. Okay, so let's return false as a default, and then we'll go. There's a way to get the surrounding tiles even in an isometric map. So I just need to research what that is. I know that there's one, like in a hex map, I get it by drawing a hexagon and seeing which tile poses it contains. So I suspect there's probably going to be something for finding adjacent tiles already in ECS tile map. I just need to figure out where. So that's going to require some documentation reading. ECS Bevy, ECS tile map, adjacent. Accessing tiles. Here's our example. The trouble is, Ted, I'm going to have to pull the curtain a little bit because a friend of yours has a 13-year-old Mastiff. Wow. A mix between toddler and a 90-year-old, yeah. I am going to have to pull this curtain a little bit, Ted, which I know is a disaster, but I actually can't see my screen. But hopefully you'll still get some sun. I just need it down to about there. Then I can see again. Sorry, buddy. Man, maybe sunshine, but my fingers are freezing. Okay. So, create a map, blah, blah, blah. Spawn the map. Grab a list of neighbors. Here we go. Get square neighboring positions. Now, what other functions? Because I don't know that this is going to be square if it's isometric, right? So let's try. Where does it live? Neighbors. Wait, what are? Get square. It doesn't so far recognize that this is a thing. Where is neighbors imported from? Aha, helpers. All right. I see why, because I've spelt it the English way. Come on, import for me. What are you doing? Oh, we got some ads. Neighbors. Get. No, it's not going to auto import for some reason. So let's go use Bevy, ECS, tile map, helpers, square grid, or is this something for isometric? Projection, filling, geometry, hex grid, selection, transform, and square grid. It's going to have to be square grid, right? I mean, isometric is still a square grid. It's just on an angle. I hope. Helpers, square grid. Because the thing is, I'm not going to be able to permit every move. I can't. Yeah. Ah, diamond. Oh, so this is where the diamond pattern lives. The matrix mapping from tile positions in the diamond isometric grid system. And then we've got diamond pause. Position for tiles arranged in diamond. It is vector-like. You can add and subtract 2 diamond pause. So this is like tile pause except for diamond. Ooh. We got ads. I did not know this. Okay, so... But tile pause is different, right? I don't know, eh? So let's go square grid neighbors. Neighbors. And then let foo equals neighbors get. No, you still not gonna autocomplete for me? Get square neighboring positions. Oh, that's going to be wrong as well. Okay, now it wants to show me. What is going on with... Oh, okay. It's being prevented from doing the right thing by my screwing up an earlier problem. What is going on here? Expected value parameter. Expected right parenthesis. Seriously mucked up. Tell you what, let's do this. This function takes 3 arguments. Okay, so now I can see the definition. Thank you. So kind of you. Returns neighboring tile positions, which includes isometric diamond and isometric staggered. Thank you so much for mentioning that. A tile position will be none if that neighbor would not lie on the map. Okay. All right, we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I need a tile pause, a tile size, and a question as to whether to include the diagonals. I think I'm actually not going to want the diagonals. So we want player pause. I need the map size, which will probably be a constant, I would think. But we might need to export it. So let's go to map. Oh, it's 4x4, that's right. Okay, cool. So let's make that a constant. Actually, we'll go const pyramid side length is 4. And then actually, yeah, it's okay. So this should be pub. And then we can just use that value anywhere. Oh, it's not F32 though. What is it? U32? Sure. Okay. What's the problem here? All right, good. So now we can go map size. Wait, what? Tile map size. X pyramid size side length, Y pyramid side length, and the other thing is oh, false, because we don't want the diagonals, I think. Because in an isometric system, the diagonals are, yeah, they're straight, basically. We need a camera adjustment for the puppy cam. We can't get both of them in frame. It's just not possible. I need to point the camera on its side, actually. That would work a lot better. Oh, well. Okay. So this is going to be our neighbors. And we also want the requested move. So hang on. Neighbors. I refuse to spell it that way. Arguments to this function are incorrect. Unused. Okay. What's the warning here? Is valid move is never used? Sure. So now we need to add move is... Oh, move's a Rust keyword. I can't do that. School is starting more early after each year. Oh, really? When is it summer where you are? Or like the end of summer, maybe? I've lost track. Requested move is an and move. There we go. That's why it was having trouble. Move is a keyword. You're on summer break right now. Gotcha. Now, so now we've got a whole bunch of positions, and that's going to be a vec of something, right? It's going to be a vec tile pause. No, it's going to be a neighbor's tile pause. Whatever that is. Keep losing 2 days each year? Oh, harsh. Seems rude, right? Seems very, very rude. Okay, good. So we've got neighbors. Now, how do we deal with the neighbors? So let's see if we can find an example of how to manipulate this. Neighbor entities is neighbor positions entities and then pass it the tile storage. Okay. Interesting. So that would give us all of the actual tiles. But really all we want to know is there an actual tile there or not? In other words, if it's not, we're probably going to want the character to fall off the map. Lose whole entire week during 2019? No. Right. So we need to check if tile storage get and then the tile pause of what other functions are available on neighbors? Like, can I go if neighbors what do we got? Hang on. I need to be able to convert the requested move into a tile pause. Could I let the character jump in any 4 directions, but if he falls more than 1 cube, run death function? I could, except that we're not actually really using physics for this, so I'm just literally moving his location on the tile map. Um, so I absolutely could do it that way, but all I'm doing at the moment is making him transition between 2 different tile positions. Well, I'm not even doing that now, but that's my plan. And then if he chooses a fake one, I'll that way he'll always jump to the center of the thing. There'll never be any kind of variation in his movement, and I'll just animate his jump between the spots. And then if the player chooses to move off a valid tile, then I'll animate the full. Should be reasonably simple, but I just need to understand how to get the valid tile. So the requested move is essentially a compass direction, and I need to change that into, if I'm at, say, 0, 0 and I go northeast, I need to move to 0, 1. And I'm just trying to think about how. I feel like there's probably a function that will do that already, but I need to convert requested move, compass direction, to tile pos and compare, and check if it occurs in neighbors. So that's the next thing to do. So how do I get a direction in a tile map? I feel like I'm going to be able to do that using. Actually, maybe just check. Square directions. This looks promising. Iterate over neighbors in the order specified by square directions. Returns the neighbor and the square directions. What are square directions? Ah, nice. Yes, it does support this. Okay, cool. Get a mutable reference to an item that lies in a particular square direction. Will be none if no such items exist. I don't need it to be mutable. Okay, so neighbors get. Oh, so I don't even need to retrieve the entire set of neighbors. Oh, this is cool. Neighbors get self direction. Perfect. And if it's none, then I know it's an invalid move. Awesome. Okay, let's try that. So neighbors, I do need to retrieve the initial set. Get. So I need a conversion from my move enum to a square direction. Now, I wonder if I should change the implementation of my enum so that it supports that. Can you have an implementation for an enum, or am I just spacing? I think you might be able to do a from. I could implement from for square direction, but I don't think I'm allowed to because it's in an external library. Let's see if you can do conversions on enums. Rust from enum. Ooh, we got a dark mode for this. Or rust mode. Okay. I was just wondering if it's possible to have an automatic conversion rather than have to do a match block.